Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the IT Global Direction. I am your host, Hlahatsi-Baloyi. Have you ever thought about whose responsibility is it in an organization to lift the strategy of that beautiful paper? And after we have presented it and told people how amazing everything is going to land. We had an amazing conversation with Benjamin Marais, who's in South Africa, who shared with us his views on how we can lift the strategy of the paper. He also indicated that as an IT leader himself, he's the CIO, all solutions don't always have to be resolved with technology. Are you excited to see this as I am? We really had an amazing conversation. Please tune in and see how you can lift this beautiful strategy off the paper. Enjoy. Hi, Benjamin. Welcome to the IT Global Direction. I am Rorisang Hlahatsi-Baloyi. Benjamin, please introduce yourself to our viewers. Where are you in the world today? Who are you, and what is the hot topic for today?
Hi, Rorisang. Yeah, I'm Benjamin Marais, and I'm currently in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I'm the CIO for one of the business units within the Standard Group. And the hot topic, I think, today is really about technology doesn't solve all the challenges in your organization. It's really about changing the way people work and the culture with the organization that's more important than almost selecting the type of technology you want to use.
Yeah. That's actually true. So, Benjamin, what would you advise organizations that see technology as the resolver of all problems within organizations?
Yeah, look, I mean, I would definitely advise them to take a moment actually and stay back. There's sometimes a saying to say go slow before you could go fast. Doesn't always
Yeah.
mean that's what you do, but take a moment. And what I mean by that is that in today's world, almost any type of technology can do what you need it to do and would be able to deliver what it is. There's not necessarily a specific technology that's way different than others. The real difference, I mean, how your organization change and how they work and how they do things. For example, if you want to implement Agile as an example, it's very easy to talk about Agile and put it on a PowerPoint. Implementing it, changing the culture, and actually getting the whole value chain from an idea to launch to operate, say, in an agile manner is far more complicated than picking a new technology that you want to implement to solve a problem.
And what does this mean, Benjamin, in this world? I'm not sure if this is a fact or misinformation, where it is said that technologies like artificial intelligence will eventually replace people. Do you still see in those scenarios that we'll still need people up front to do the planning and execution?
Yeah, even more so. I mean, I think artificial intelligence is a whole topic on its own, and maybe you can get someone that's more qualified than me to talk about that one day. But what I can tell you is that you will definitely need to plan. I mean, if you look at artificial intelligence or even intelligent automation, even which is way before, which is but before AI almost, but something that's a lot more used, or machine learning even. The key there again is the people need to understand what they do, how they utilize it, how they want to use it. For AI, the whole responsible AI and how you're utilizing it is very important. Data that you utilize in any of these things becomes very important. And hence my thing about the technology you choose, being it AI, being it just software that provide an omni-channel experience, being it something basic, it always needs more than the technology. And I touched on data, for example, just now. If I look back at some of the projects I've been involved, you always say if I had $100, let's make it like that, to buy the software, rather take $50 and buy and take the other $50 and strengthen your team and the capabilities you think you're going to need, being a data, being a change management, being in education and training. So yeah, quite important that you actually take all that into account if you want to have a successful journey on your technology changes or implementation.
Yeah. And then Benjamin, now if there's a big strategic change, as you indicated, where we'll need to first plan and have a proper plan to implement, who would be responsible for that upfront planning? Would it be a CIO or?
Yeah, look, I always say any strategic change, you need to lead from the front. And so in an organization, again, if you're in a big organization, that would be the CEO and his executive team. Yes, the CIO will play a big role there, but not on its own. If you're a small organization, it needs to be the leadership team. And it's very important, again, and touching on that, because if you don't lead from the front, the rest of the organization is going to struggle to follow or even struggle to change. So again, let's take cloud journey as an example. Cloud is another big one that lots of organizations has gone on. Again, the technology choices isn't the difficult part. Yes, there's different type of technology cloud providers out there. The difficult part is to change the organization to then support that. Not only is there new processes and governance you need to be aware of, but you also want to help people to then say maybe get skilled up into the new technology, which then brings another point that if you skill someone up and they're going to work on the newer part of your technology or the new journey, what happens on the technology they worked on already? For example, we talk sometimes about legacy, question mark, what is legacy? Anything that's been installed and is a day old, you can argue it's legacy, but someone has worked on that. Who's going to do that? And those are the things I'm talking about you need to take into account. Because yes, you can pick a partner to support you in this technology, but inside the organization, what needs to change for that to be a success? And again, that needs to be led from the front. And you need to bring the whole organization with you. And it doesn't happen overnight, let's just also be clear about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then, Benjamin, I just want to get your views on this concept that in the past, technology was 80-20, so 20% technology, 80% people. And where the world is moving now, it's 80-20, 20% people and 80% technology. How do you see that as a leader? How would you be impacted in that design now where though it's expected that there'll be more technology than people within organizations?
Now, look, I mean, that is a good question, and I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to these things. I think what's important again is to understand what you want to do with the technology, and then what capabilities you're going to require, and then look at the people. And again, people, if you look at people today, the world has changed. First of all, you've got multi-skilled, talented people today. So instead of being when I was young in your age, you were a developer and that was it, or you were a business analyst and that was it. Nowadays, people have 3, 4, 5 different type of skills that they can utilize, which makes them very valuable. But also it means you don't necessarily need as many people you would have had originally, or the one person can be utilized in different spots, which speaks a lot to how agile works. The other thing to also take into account is, and I'm sure you've heard of this, a lot of the technology nowadays, there's a low code or no code.
No code,
which means that more of your organization can actually participate. So not only IT people that can work with technology, non-IT people in the old context, and we should really try to break that down. It shouldn't be like that. Can now do some work utilizing these new technologies. It does put additional stress or strain on the environment sometimes, because you still have to make sure you follow security protocols or governance and that. But it does allow, I feel, for more flexibility, innovation even, and people can do more because you can help yourself. I mean, if you in operations or finance, you could go and write some low code or no code piece of software application and utilize it without have to wait in a queue necessarily. Anyway, there's some of the thinking. So you need sometimes less people, maybe less people, more technology, but there's also more of the organization can participate in this.
Well, Benjamin, I think we've learned quite a lot from you today. I'll try and summarize the conversation that we just had. So you indicated that it's important that leaders lead from the front when it comes to these transition and implementation of new strategies. And you also indicated that you cannot leave the teams to be the ones that are executing technology with no direction of the plan. So it's important to have the plan up front and see how technology can support that business objective. And then you also indicated that with this 2080, it's also important that people become multi-skilled so that they can be able to spread themselves across different capabilities as and when they're required. So don't just be a business analyst. And then with the artificial intelligence work, where I was asking you about, now that we know that artificial intelligence has a potential of replacing people, but that can never be done now, right? We can never be replaced today or
Not
tomorrow.
now.
Yeah, not now. Even though we already have artificial intelligence, right? There's already no code, low code technologies that are out there. And what's most interesting with what you said is that that's not no longer just an IT thing. Being immersed with technologies, business can now also be involved because there's not quite a lot of technical or coding work that needs to be done. It's business processes that are enabled with these new technologies. Benjamin, I hope I summarized everything you said. I think we learned a lot from you, and thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you for asking, Rorisang, and you did, yeah. And have a good day further.
Have a great day.